daye no no na eneme fa wo enkwechire enche ena eye ekuo bi ete ne ho anase ekuo bi eda ne ho adi ya na e from fix the country na woye kira edi kan na no woye red and black e wo nkranman mu ha ye nyina ye kai in August 2001 ye kai whatever happened and then omukokuma I mean takrade ekoye the second phase of it was an orange demonstration. The whole principal street of Takrade were painted in the colors of orange. We saw that. And then there was some level of break in the front of the group because some were saying there's some political infiltration and bribery allegations amongst the leaders of the Fix the Country group. Nina Ekodai. Yeah, that's sorry. Yeah, almost say almost asanso ashomo mukena. Yeah, almost ebabeye oyeche. To the extent that they were having to do a 3-day protest starting from Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Day one, which was the Thursday, and to me, because police did what they could have done. Friday, it did, and then on Saturday, they had the major of it. And which, and one of the leaders of the group, Oliver Baka-Voma, lawyer, about to just say he was bribed. Now, this issue about bribery and all of these things, it's not the first time we are hearing, say, a certain group of persons or more say their voices being heard. Some government officials are trying to gag them by giving them juicy appointments and some monetary inducement and all of that. And when we heard it, and then that's sorry, the minister in question, Albert Kandapa. And chair, and I bet say, some lady be Albert Kandapan, semi so I could show pajamas any other day, and no kodan chain. Albert Kandapa himself again came to tell Ghanaians for say, idea the rulings in the 2020 elections, where the judges were giving 7-0, 9-0, 5-0, and for Eka said the unanimous FC, it was not right because it was painting the picture of the judiciary in a certain direction to the country. Our say as National Security Minister, it wasn't right. And so people thought, say, this bribery allegation, directly at the doorstep of the minister was not surprising. But really, we're joining court. Now the minister is in court seeking, say, Oliver Baka-Voma should be charged, and then he's demanding some $10 million. But what really did Oliver say? Yeah, Ninti Emma, Kandapa, Albert Kandapa, National Security Minister, it take his decision.
They offered us a committee to set up a committee and appoint us to government positions in order to stop this activism. This was made directly to me and other leaders of Fix the Country. This will be refused. Now, this conversation was had at the time with the National Minister of National Security, the Minister of Finance, and a Brigadier General of the Ghana Armed Forces at the Safe House cantonment. These are information that are verifiable. We recorded that conversation. If people recall,
do you say those are the people who are making the offer?
The people who made the offer on that day. If people will recall, when I came out of jail, I had made an announcement that I was going to disclose the details of the secret meeting that had taken place and some of the things that were said to us. And later I had received several calls from people in this country and refused to disclose those. This information is not something I'm lying about. I can release to you information and calls that the Minister of National Security himself called me while I was in the UK, inviting me to come down to Ghana and at public expense. And I rejected it and paid for my own ticket and flew down to Ghana. And so for me, I know and I've always known that, and there's nothing that I'm saying here that will surprise anybody or shock anybody, that we know that they have taken every kind of attempt through monetary compulsions, through violence in order to stop what we are doing. But we'll continue to build. And we are demanding that if citizens really cherish this democracy and are interested in the future of this country, then they'll show up and stare down power.
Oliver Baka-Voma, he makes mention of the finance minister, he makes mention of Albert Kandapa, and then he makes mention of a military brigadier. And then the Safe House, which we all know, say it's a national security zone for this, development. Okay, so clearly, could that be a lie? Now, the CEO for Center for Security Dialogue and Peace Advocacy, Anthony Akwe, a security analyst, he's come out to say, the move by the National Security Minister is in the right direction. Akwe, good morning. Well, we lost Akwe on the line. He'll be raising it back. Now, Ebisano, why he thinks the decision by the National Security Minister running to the court seeking defamatory, claims, it's in the right direction. Now, if you say that will put matters to bed, because clearly, if these matters, and as a matter of this nature, is leveled against the whole National Security Minister, then it tells us, Uncle court, now Uncle pay some leverage. But then, clearly, there are those who argue that, look, versus national security, some of these things are expected. Besides, when you look at the national budget, Ebano, there's a portion that is allocated to the national security. The police, there's a budget for them. The military, there's a budget. And all of these security agencies, there's a budget for them on how they do their operations and all of that. And so it's not surprising if the ministry would have that amount of money, and especially looking at how the demonstration would go a long way to tarnish the image of the government. Because look, one, the populace have all complained, say economy no enye, market women. We remember from the beginning of 2017, 2018, everything started going somewhere near COVID, and then we were hiding under the guise of COVID. Everybody knows that. The economy has not been in a good shape to the extent that we have to go to the IMF for the bailout and all of that. And so there are those who argue, look, the economy is not working, the youth are unemployed and all of those. And so if these youth are rising and giving indication that we need hope, it is sending a wrong signal of this government to the international community. And so clearly it is in order. Now, Anthony Akwe is back on the line. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
First of all, why do you think, sir, the National Security Minister, Oko Court is in the right direction, seeking 10 million from a citizen who is saying, sir, you are trying to bribe me to keep quiet?
Okay, my brother, thank you for having me. I must say on authority that civil society organizations in the perspective of security are part of the security picture. And statement made by any of the leaders of this civil society is something that being recognized.
Anthony, hello, Anthony.
Yeah,
your line is breaking. Minya feed me. So it's a position who here. Because in some alcano, and who here a pant in some position who yanaka, it to me at the alcano. Yes, in Muyafe.
Okay, so can I go ahead?
Yes, please, Koso.
Okay, so what it means is that in the perspective of security, civil society organizations achieve part of security architecture. And of this statement coming from their domain, something that we can take it in reality. So now, on the aspect of Oliver Kabo's statement, indicating that there was a positive improvement to judge him from, his actions. In fact, basic law indicates that he was responsible. That this issue of security money, especially when, this allegation is actually made against Minister of Defense and Minister of National Security, who is in charge of the security and and so the need for him is fully has that presidential support to back his allegation. This is anything that you should be afraid of the fact that the minister has gone for. In fact, the right direction that brings the work court because it opens the gateway for the discussion of the matter. And then we can all get to know the truth of the matter. And I think that very also or indicating that they wouldn't just be in the front of me. They will be in the front of me. And obviously, people the minister want to testify. What actually was his voice. And that's the kind of movement I played in trying to induce Oliver
Hello, Akwe. Akwe, I'm afraid, but online, no, and none of pay and dim boy crash. So we'll recall you again. Kojo and the team will recall you, and then we'll see how if we can have a better feed this time. While we are at it, there's another security expert, that's a fraud prevention expert and security consultant, Richard Kumado. And also, actually, say the decision by Kandapa, say Obeko Court, no, it's not. I mean, he doesn't see the need, say, Kandapa, Albert Kandapa, Minister for National Security, will run to the court, say some levels of allegations have been leveled against him. Now, question is, he was not the only person mentioned. Inti Adena Omo Mwakano, and I said this is a series of, actions. Omo Mwakano Nanso Beteki against Oliver Baka Vomao. Now, Oliver is also saying, say, he's ready. He's got the files, he's got the audio recordings of the minister. He's ready any day, any time to put it out for the consumption of the general public. Now, Open Media House are willing to air that particular, tape. And so that issue is also on the banner. Now, with all of these, what Richard Kumado believes is that we are national security minister. It's not everything that you have to run to court. There are some of the things that all of these things can happen. We've seen them in areas, in international best practices, that allegations of this nature are leveled. But then, running to court, somebody who says, hey, the Amoko court ni moma will give credence to the fact that Niye Kano is true. Now, what if your court now the tapes are provided to show, say, indeed, this is Albert Kandapa? Are we going to say that the footages were doctored, or what really will be the issues there? Now, Anthony Akwe is back on the line. Anthony, now, kase ehun here pass Albert Kandapa Beko court to put matters to bed.
Yeah. The fact is that I said earlier that civil society organizations will classify them under the image of the key market because obviously security in terms of the country's development is. And so
well, we have a network, and I'm sure maybe Anthony or Anopeno and Yadia Ebuana crowd because Yanene Kasa Abrinia, but I say Neno network into me and one Anthony Akwe, a security analyst, and he is the director and as executive director, Emma Center for Peace Dialogue, Security Dialogue, Center for Security Dialogue and Peace Advocacy. Yeah, or no, and Nana Action Como on the matters emerging out of the Fix the Country for protest. No, we do know. Say Omo as a notice say next month, October, November, December no idea ombeye oyechire no ombeko so aye to ensure say hope Ghana timemufo ehwehwe no omonsa etumi aka because omo say idea timemufo hope bia eni ho ene oko ayaresa bia na cost of medical treatment esra na eko esra na eko wo hwe kolebu ene ebi mu ekeka say wo hwe dialysis cramp na nka those days we betu about 250 no ene akosro over 700 cedis eno no okonya saska no a week de bia no ntina ye nkofo na ebido na nso ka say say bebo ye ho ban de na emum na say ye ayarehwe mu no yetumi enya the proper systems a ebetumi aboa na ne yebetumi aye no yetumi aye se ne ekoba se obi hu etochewa onka se ene wewu because wenya emwa bia emfree eye hospital ho ye enche sa no bed syndrome ye ba ye beko hospital ye se empa eni ho nkrofo dodo na ehwe omonkwa enra omo ye demonstration Saturday omo ye demonstration no dodo na make reference to sa issues no lady bakene ne kasa o say ne papa ne mama nyina ewuye in 2020 because of sa no bed syndrome ye kofa how kese pa ebro mo ye nkasa ye nua stone boy beam nation ono o share o kana rehosem ɔse ne kotodwe no ya enehu na onam na ice ne na ye ne ye otogu so no accident onyaye wo motorway no so ana ma ne nan aye ne aye because ade ehye ne kotodwe mu de nam nti o kan o tie saa ensem yi nyina ene ne kokokoko so na youth unemployment ene over 1,000 every university no omo churning out close to 1,000 graduates every year. Yeah, report actually say obi ewie school a ne ebeye pass obi nya adwumaye no age odi be 5 years ansa 5 years IFS e de abetudwa 5 years ansa na onipa no ebetumi enya adwuma aye because we national service na obetina fiesa because adwuma bia eni ho intinu we nyina enkamfu ano ama abeye ade a aye asefem ama Ghana mabunu ye nintinu wonyina ate egu mountain so say oye kire bia ebekoso ne de ade a obia de ne ho bagim saa na Ghana mabunu e ka say oye kire bia ebekoso bia no obia de ne ho bagim esan se omo anye ne saa na ankwa ankobo omo mpemfo ka say mi se wankasa utiri ho a yeyi eyibone yeyi eyibone esan se bebia odwan ejina no ehwa na ne ba no so ejina nti se mpemfo no enkoye momo na kire se ye mofra na ye di ekire ba no so no enya ade a ebekoyi ama nti na se akola bia na se pen bia bo ne ho modern se obetumi ahye ono ankasa ne destiny. You put your own destiny into your own hands because the systems are not created to favor you, and that becomes the order of the day. I know ama ne Oliver Baka Vomawo e dia betu dwa se national security minister mano bribe say ombeji bribe na be mano government appointment na wakwakwatena aban mu sene obetumi aboa na saa oye kire ya ekoso abre ni abre bia no etumi ejai because ade ase ekoso saa emboa oman no se ekoso saa emboa oman nti no omo hwe se ombe boa na saa ade nyina etu etwa mamenkan some of o commenter o de ascending ewo Facebook anopai no so that will be okay but okay mamenko ahomano na me Richard Kumado enko twetwen komotew na menkan messages ni bi ma ansa na media see Richard Kumado a fraud prevention expert and a security consultant. Richard, good morning.
Morning.
Now Kandapa court what do you say the right thing to do?
As the head of security. What they did of experience. What are these might be happen? They were actually a bit out there with better people and we are feeling that you want to correct the people and analyze them. So I'm focused. I don't know why it's making it. So they are focused. And they are going to ensure that support.
Richard, I'm struggling to hear you. I think Sanope network no and share that MBY and cry. The network is not helping.
I hear now.
If you just see, there are lots of breakages in there.
Oh, sorry.
So I can't.
Sorry.
Yeah. But let me try my second question and see. Say emu beda ho emu anda ho dia na ye Now ebi mu ka say sa court here okwe no it's just an attempt to gag omo mpese omo eye oye kire no because what the court and bia demonstrations the court ka say until further say no mema onye oye kire bi omni ade ebi mu edwen do you see say it's one of the reasons I can't pa ede nsemi akoda in court that time? Well, the network is not helping us Anope. Now we say Emmanuel or say Foucault this introduction of a Japadier book revolutionizing itself, most MPs will lose their seat in Ashanti region. And then Nanado has inculcated his behavior of vindictiveness into unreasonable MPP rank and file. They should leave Mr. Cash alone to chart his own path. Some messages are more de abandoned. Don't want to answer Lodi. I'm sure the network issues is everywhere. We'll have to leave it here. Yeah, Daniel, na Kwame Menka, and lawyer Beatrice Annan Ewofiha, Dwabo Ase Omana Tinase, Bedin Komo, and Alan Aye no, Afafranto, ya Abe no. Then NDC for no, what does it mean for the MPP? So, and a limited voter registration exercise, yeah, area the final phase, you know, what are the impact so far and how everything is going to end. But let me say happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, my son. Nathan Owusu Duncan, my son in whom I'm well pleased, a son that is taller than his father. We wish you the very best. And that the month of September will be great for you and the generation yet unborn. Abigail A.C. Ampoff, it's also your birthday. I want to wish you all the very best. Daddy is so much proud of you to have the best of it. My name is Wisdom Hedejome Ushamia from Inyansa. Good morning.
Easy or your power for Masaka promotion. There isn't a big or you're big. Separate power for Masaka promotion. One day I never dial star 274 hash. Star 274 hash. Area net choose power effort. Now select a number of drawer and put their zone him. Draw Krubia 5 Ghana cedis pet. The more as a rush draw them when they stand a chance able to marry in a big. Hey, you're big. Every week you saw your 50,000 Ghana cedis in a chair. Hey, 50,000 Ghana cedis. Knock off you, good deal star 274 hash. Masaka. Power for Masaka promotion. It's licensed and regulated by NLA on Caritas Lottery Platform. Kaida drawing shade at home.
Welcome to Auto Check Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to Accra.
Sure.
Emission, check.
Alignment, check.